Okay, this tutorial is going to show you how to make Pong. I'm going to start from our basic Hello World code, which drew a circle and Hello World on the screen. I'll expand it a little bit and get a moving ball and some keyboard hookups. So I've copied the code. I'm going to go to Eclipse and launch it. Now, what I should do is close our previous project and make a new one. Eclipse is taking its sweet time to load. Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to close this project. Project close, because I don't really want to see errors from that project anymore. It's still there if I need it in the future. If it's something that I really don't want to see, I can actually delete it. But I'm going to keep it. You never know, we might want to pull it up. So I'm going to go File, New Java Project. And I'm going to call it Pong. Put it in the default location, whatever works for you. Make sure I don't have a module info file. Hit Finish. Inside Pong, I'm going to go New Class, and I'm going to call it Pong. Finish. Okay, so I'm pasting my code from before. So one thing I'm going to do is I have to change it to the file name. Whatever I name the file name has to be the base class. So I have to change this, and I'm going to change that. Okay, and I can run it and just verify that I've got things set up properly. Okay, beautiful. Now I'm ready to go. First thing I'm going to do, if you remember we were drawing a circle, we were actually moving it with g.drawOval. And we could actually make Pong. So what we could do is we could say int ball x, int ball y. I'd have to put semicolons there. And then I could move those variables and actually move the ball like this, right? So if ball x increments, then the ball moves. What's cool about Java and really object-oriented design is instead of making all these variables at the top, I can make complex classes. So the class I'm going to make underneath, notice I still have my last bracket. I haven't gone underneath it. I'm going inside. I'm going to say public class ball. Okay, usually when and this should be in, I'm going to highlight and go tab. It's within the Pong game. Inside class ball classes should always be capitalized, so capital B. Int x equals, let's say 50. Int y equals, let's say 50. They're also going to have a speed. Int x speed equals 5. Int y speed equals 5. Okay. So now our ball has some variables, and if I wanted to draw the ball, I could actually go like this. In my constructor for Pong, I could say ball b equals new ball, right? So now I have a ball, we call it b, and I could say b.x b.y. So that's the ball's x and the ball's y. And that actually leads me to my something I'm missing. The ball needs a width and a height. So let's go back down here and say int ball width, or just int width equals, let's say 50, or no, maybe 20. Int height equals 20. And then if I go back up to the paint, b.width, b.height. So I have a ball called b. It has an x position, a y position, a width, and a height. And this should run. Let's give it a try. No errors required. So I made one mistake. So let's hit cancel and see what it is. B cannot resolve to a variable. Oh, and that makes sense because I'm declaring ball B in here. It dies right here. So to stop that from happening, I go up here, I go ball B, and I initialize it in the constructor. So it's declared up here, so it's accessible to other functions, but it's initialized here. And now if I go run, unresolved compilation problem. interesting. Back to problems. Delete this token. Okay, so there's an extra bracket. So this is the class ball. Yeah, I have an extra bracket. Okay, this is the ball right here. Okay, let's get it moving. Now, one way I could move it, and I think I showed you how to do this before, is I could go b.x equals b.x plus 1. Now this is kind of like a loop because I trigger repaint. Repaint should be actually after this step right here. I trigger repaint after a pause, so this will loop and it will move the ball's x position like that. And it works. So you see it's moving. But I don't like that. If we're going to go object-oriented, the ball should know how to move itself. So instead of me moving it here, I want to say b.move. And the ball will move itself. So how does it move itself? Well, inside ball, public class ball, I'm going to make a function. Public void move. And when a ball moves, its x gets x plus x speed. Its y gets y plus y speed. Okay, and so really I haven't done much. There's nothing wrong with doing it inside Paint, but what happens is all the code would be in here, and if the ball's not moving right, I'd have to go inside this Paint and figure it out. Now, by putting it inside the ball's own function, someone can work on just the ball. It's class design that allows large organizations to make a game, or you could say this team member is in charge of the ball's physics, and he would work in here, and he doesn't even have to care about how it paints. So we're trying to follow object-oriented design and putting it in here. So the problem with this is it'll just run off the screen, and it's gone. So I got to make it bounce. We'll do some simple bounce code. Inside the move, if x is greater than, the 0 is easy. So that's one wall. That is the left wall. Protect left wall, right? And if I want, what do I want to do? I want to change its x speed equals x speed times -1, right? I'm going to change that, boom. And I'll say if y is less than 0, y is less than -1. And let's make the ball go that way so that we see it at least. So we'll do negative. And okay, now we gotta protect these things right here. Now actually we should be able to say, we should be able to set a size for the window. Now the window is 300 by 200. First off, that's probably not a good size. The game's a little small, it should be bigger. So let's make a variable out here and call it int x window size, or window width equals 600, int window height equals 400, and now we can go set the size to window width, set the size to window height. Now notice here, I'm following Java format. When you make a variable, the first word's letter is always low. Every other letter is capital on new words, which is different from classes, which are always capitalized, even the first. And so now I can copy this code and cover the other side of it. So this is protect the upper wall. And now we got to protect the bottom right two walls. So this is if x is greater than window width. So this is protecting the right wall. And this is going to protect the bottom wall. So if y is greater than window height. Let's save our runs. Okay, always hit cancel. Static reference. cannot make a static reference to the static field. Okay, so what that means is I have to put the word static in here. Kind of a complicated explanation, so we won't talk about static right now. Kind of a distraction. Okay, so now we have a ball, and it does protect itself. It goes a little bit off screen, but other than that, good stuff. Okay, and I'll let you cover how to make the ball look a little bit better. We're changing its size. We'll even talk, if you notice it kind of flashes, we'll talk about improving the graphics later on. What I would like to do is I'll show you one last thing. We are going to add a key listener.